Coming up on Win News, a series of near misses with Canberra's light rail prompts a safety warning. Indigenous runners look to go the distance and the Raiders brace for Sunday's clash with the Eels.
Across Canberra and its surrounding regions, this is Win News.
Tonight, criticism over why 3 innocent Canberrans were charged with murder. Several near misses with Canberra's light rail prompt a safety warning. And the ACT government urged to hold off on closing a hydrotherapy pool. Good evening, I'm Geoff Phillips. Also coming up tonight, the drought takes a toll on the fruit and veggie displays of this year's Royal Easter Show, as farmers take the reality of country life to the city. A leading defence barrister has criticised the charging and prosecution of 3 Canberrans who were today acquitted of killing an elderly relative. The jury in the Beowulf trial gave a rapid verdict after months of hearings, which lawyers say supports their beliefs that the case should never have been brought.
Among an army of lawyers, the Beowulf family leaves court cleared of committing the most serious crime. Michael Hammond, Win News.
To some breaking news now. A Goulburn man and former Supermax prison unit boss stands accused by Queensland Police of committing an historic triple murder. Bruce John Preston was arrested and charged after flying into Brisbane today. Detectives say the 63-year-old was surprised by the development, which comes 4 decades after the suspicious deaths of 3 people in Mount Isa. Karen Edwards, Tim Thompson and Gordon Twaddle have been travelling from Alice Springs to Melbourne on a motorcycle trip.
It's never too late to come forward. Relationships and loyalties change. People who were once scared may no longer be. I would caution persons responsible for cold case murders to take no solace in the passage of time.
Mr Preston was previously convicted of stealing Mr Thompson's motorcycle while a Land Cruiser and firearms were forensically examined in the 1970s. Police say their investigation is ongoing. Terrifying new vision shows drivers, cyclists and pedestrians dicing with death near Canberra's light rail network. As you can see here, there have been many cases where vehicles or people have tried to beat the trams or stopped on the tracks. Some came within seconds of being hit. Transport Canberra issued this vision to remind Canberrans of the dangers around light rail and the need to exercise care and patience. The ACT government is being urged to postpone the planned closure of the hydrotherapy pool of the Canberra Hospital, with current users concerned their health will deteriorate without access to a suitable alternative.
Joan Keith is the first to admit she's not exactly the picture of health.
Not only do I have arthritis and osteoporosis, but I also have asthma and lung disease.
The killing fields. That's how residents have described a $10 million, 10-megawatt solar farm proposed south of Moruya's town centre. It would see 30,000 solar panels constructed on farmland, devastated locals likening the concept to a prison.
For 27 years, this has been Denise and Quentin Warden's morning view. Untouched rolling hills 5 minutes from Moruya. Jared Constable, Win News.
Coming up next on Win News, what's on at the Sydney Royal Easter Show this year? And the team of Indigenous runners who'll be pounding the pavement in the Canberra Marathon. For almost 200 years, the Royal Easter Show has brought the country to the city, opening showgoers' eyes to life in regional areas and the issues, challenges and triumphs faced in the bush. Win News reporter Samara Gardner is at day 1 of the show. Samara, this year's event comes off the back of a very trying year.
It sure does, Geoff. Out of city limits, our regional communities continue to be crippled by fire, floods and drought. The big dry has made growing crops hard, feeding livestock even harder. The Easter Show offering a brief reprieve as the agriculture industry comes together, bringing with them the best livestock and produce from across the country. Thousands of individual pieces of fruit, fibres, vegetables and grains are painstakingly put together at the Royal Easter Show district displays. Samara Gardner, Win News.
Hundreds of runners will be hitting Canberra streets this weekend as part of the Australian Running Festival. Among those looking to go the distance will be a group of Indigenous participants who want to highlight the strength and resilience of First Australians.
all laced up and ready to run the distance as the Australian Running Festival comes to the bush capital this weekend.
Friday Sport now with Jared. Two familiar faces to return to Canberra Stadium this weekend.
Yes, Geoff, albeit in different colours. Junior Paulo and Blake Ferguson are sure to trouble the green machine. Plus frustration for David Pocock as he fails a late fitness test on his calf. Welcome back. Brumbies captain Christian Lealiifano admits he feels for teammate David Pocock as he struggles to overcome a calf injury. The Wallabies flanker was expected to make his long-awaited return against the Lions tomorrow night, but was ruled out yesterday afternoon.
A bitter blow for one of the Brumbies' best. David Pocock forced to spend another week watching on after failing to prove his fitness yesterday.
Canberra soccer product Carl Valeri has announced he will retire at season's end. The Melbourne Victory captain has had a career to remember, claiming 2 A-League championships while also earning more than 50 caps for the Socceroos. The 34-year-old will be hoping to go out on a high, with Victory currently 3rd on the A-League ladder. And Geoff, that's all in sport.
Jared, thanks for that. Chris has all your weekend weather details next.
Welcome back. Maximum temperatures were 1 to 3 degrees above average today. Tonight's weather photo is from Stephen. A beautiful afternoon shot for our Friday weather pic. Stephen snapped a few sheep on the paddock and brilliant colours in that sunset. Great shot there, Stephen, and thank you very much. If you've taken a weather photo and you want to see it on the screen, send it through to us. The address is weather@wintv.com.au. On to the details now from today. A little fog in parts, but a bit of a cloudy day at the coast. Wollongong 21 degrees, 22 was the top for Nowra. Further south we had a similar day. Maruya 21 degrees, touch warmer there for Bega, 22. Looking inland now, just 1 for Bombala and humidity sitting on 100% until winds picked up around 10 a.m. Thredbo saw a top of 10 degrees. And to the ACT, Queanbeyan had a low of 11 degrees and was on the cusp of 20 by midday, and northwesterly winds gusted to 28 k's in Bungendore. On the satellite image, a high pressure system over the western Tasman Sea extends a ridge along the New South Wales coast, while a broad trough lies over the state's west. On the synoptic chart, the high is expected to gradually weaken today and Saturday as a cold front passes to the south. A new, stronger high is forecast to move across the southern Tasman Sea from Sunday onwards. To the forecast now. For the south coast, mostly sunny, areas of fog in the north in the early morning. For now, 25 degrees, 22 will be the top for Ulladulla. Further south, patchy fog near the Vic border, then a partly cloudy day. For Bateman's Bay, 25 degrees and 23 for Merimbula. Inland to the Snowy Mountains, partly cloudy with some light winds. And to the ACT, a little cloud about and winds up to 20 kilometres an hour. Now for Canberra, a partly cloudy day tomorrow. 24 will be the high. Having a look now at Canberra's temperatures for the week ahead. Well, conditions will remain a little cloudy until early next week, at which time we've got more sunshine on the cards and then sunny days with temps in the mid-20s. That's all for weather this week. Have a wonderful evening, and Geoff, have a great weekend.
Chris, we'll catch you next week. That is Win News for this Friday night. Good night.
This has been a Win News presentation. Win News, regional Australia's #1 news source.